Hello, welcome to our live stream. My apologies for being 6 minutes late. Excuse me. I am Jen. Welcome to our lesson. This is our Wednesday lesson. You can find me here every week at this time, providing a lesson for you. We've already got 7 people here waiting. Thank you very much for showing up. Every week we have a new topic. The topic this week is I wanted to say nationality, but no, it's not. It's spring, the season spring. So let's start with a little kind of warm up, and maybe you can write and let me know where you are right now, which country you are watching this in. So write it in the comments. For those of you watching the replay, go ahead and share it in the comments. Where are you? And maybe, how do you know me? Do you know me from YouTube, or do you know me from Instagram, or I don't know. Maybe I paid you to watch. I don't know. Hey, Alessio, welcome to our lesson. Hello, hello. So I know that you're from Italy. So yes, I know that. And I know that you know me from Instagram. But maybe for some of the other people, it would be interesting to know if you know me from Instagram or from YouTube. Hey, Yuki, darling. Hello, hello. So yes, how is everybody doing today? I hope you're well. Where are you watching this? How do you know me? And if you don't already follow my account, I highly recommend, if you want to find a nice English speaking community where every single week we learn new words, new phrasal verbs, new idioms, we communicate with each other, and you're able to use the language that you already know and to be able to fine tune it and perfect it. Hello, Lorena, welcome. So my question, where are you watching this? I know Alessio, I know Yuki. Hello, Gracie, sorry, from Patagonia. I know you from Iwa. Yes, I know you from Iwa, from Instagram, exactly. And I didn't remember that you lived in Patagonia. Nice. So in Patagonia right now, I take it must be fall. Is it fall right now? What is the weather like in Patagonia right now? Great video. Vivos, thanks. I don't know what it means. Hey, Renata, darling, Florida is in the house. All right. Always love when Florida's around. Japan, I know you from Instagram. Exactly. Thank you, Yuki. And thank you. And I think this is, even though it's kind of a basic question, it's a good way of kind of warming up, communicating, getting ourselves into using the language. So without further ado, my dears, I will post our first. Oh, that's with English. I just clicked the wrong one. Aye. No, goodbye. There we go. Goodbye banner. So yes, we're in autumn and it's cool. Okay. Do you already have the first snow in Patagonia? I'm so happy to have you here. I've not seen you around in a long time. Lorena from Italy. Oops, hold on. Refresh. Share your referral link. Nope. Italy, and I know you're from Instagram. Lorena, where in Italy are you? I can't remember. If you don't mind sharing that. And cloudy, lucky, without, I think that's supposed to be, without wind. Okay, nice. So we have some Italians. We have Yuki from Japan. We have Renata, who lives in Florida, originally from Poland, I think. And we have Gracia, Patagonia. So yeah, Northern Italy. Aha, Como, Lake Como. Okay. I don't know why I was thinking somewhere more southern. Anyway, doesn't matter. Happy to have everybody here. Here is our first poll question for today to get us started. All right. So how do you feel about spring rain? Okay. What can you tell me about spring rain? I love it. It's so refreshing. B, it's okay, but I prefer sunshine. Or C, I don't like it, too gloomy. And if you want to take a little bit of an extra vocab challenge, you can go ahead and define gloomy, not an everyday word, but a good word to know, because sometimes we all feel gloomy. Gloomy is the word. And D, I don't mind as long as it's not too much. How do you feel? A, B, C, or D? And gloomy as an extra thing to be able to practice. I was in Italy, a lovely country. Okay, Gracia. Or Gracie, I think Gracie, excuse me. So B, it's okay, but I prefer sunshine. For me, it's a little mixed sometimes because we come out of winter, especially in Hamburg, where it's so gray and depressing. And then you're like, I need sunshine. I can't put up with it. Dark. Yeah, gloomy, dark, sad. Exactly. So sort of maybe melancholic, a bit of depression, maybe. Spring rain is like a wake-up call for the plants. It's refreshing. Okay. I think it's easier to tolerate when the temperature is not so cold. I think when it rains and it's warm outside, there's something kind of nice about that. Lorena, I need sunshine too. I do too. Okay, so these are some rains. I have a couple of questions today. We're going to learn a lot of vocab related to rain. But first, we're going to talk about some veggies that grow in spring. And I know I have several gardeners here and people who appreciate flowers. Hi, Hatoko, darling. Yes, V. So spring showers bring Mayflowers. I don't know, April showers bring maize flowers. I don't know. I know a different one. Yes, but exactly. It is true, right? It absolutely does that. Okay, so moving on, and let's see what I'm doing here. I think that I might have forgotten a slide. I think I did. Let's see. Oh, no, I don't. Yes, I do. I do. Okay, I think I've mixed something up, but whatever. We'll just keep going. So what does the idiom spring into action mean? Okay, so I think we had this yesterday. I want to say, I can't remember, but I'm trying to repeat these things because as you see, I can't even remember what I taught. So I have the utmost understanding that sometimes when we have an idiom, when we have a phrasal verb, if we don't repeat it, it's super easy to forget. So I'm trying to incorporate more repetition into my lessons, not to be boring, but to help it stick so we can actually use these things. So is it A, to move quickly and energetically, B, to plant flowers, C, to start cleaning, or D, to jump like a rabbit? So what does gloomy mean? So gloomy is when something is sad, when there's sort of like when it's gray outside and maybe it's a little foggy and there's just certain sadness, then it's gloomy. Some people have a certain sadness about them. They only see sort of the dark sides of life. That can also be a way to describe a person. If it's a light shower, I enjoy it, okay? To move quickly, but they all apply. Yes, in theory. That's true. That's a good logic there, darling. Hi, Michaela, darling. Welcome. To start doing something quickly. Okay, exactly. So you spring into action. We talked about it yesterday, where if somebody is drowning, you cannot think about what you need to do. You need to spring into action. Get in there, deal with it, move on. Exactly. Okay. So then let's move on to our next one. I don't think I have any sort of, I don't have any other things to add to this. All right. So let's see. So, so this is the one that was supposed to be before. So for my gardeners out there, okay. So which of these vegetables grow in spring? And if you don't know one of these vegetables, then put the word in the comments and we will go through them. Okay, I'm just going to assume you know. And if not, then we can start by describing them to each other so that we do know. And it's a great way to practice the language. So A, carrots, kale, and pumpkins. And if you grow any of these in your garden, let me know that too. So answer the question, the trivia question. Any words you don't know, maybe do a question mark, write a question mark, and then say what it is, say the ones that you don't know. And if you grow these, then maybe, I don't know, some sort of growing emoji, or you can just say, I grow, and then which ones you grow. Because I know I have some gardeners and people who like to work in the garden. So maybe you have some of these in your garden. So carrots, kale, pumpkins. Asparagus. This word looks really interesting, I find. Just like looking at the word, like pronunciation wise, it looks like, what? Asparagus. Asparagus. Peas. Spinach. And this is funny because it has the CH on the end. It's going to a nice little ch sound. Spinach. Spinach. Potatoes. Onions. And tomatoes. I think potatoes might be spelled incorrectly. I'm not quite sure. I have to look that up. Lettuce, cauliflower, and corn. All right, let me check the comments and see what we've got. So what do you think? Which of these grow in spring? I knew asparagus and peas in my garden. Not no yet. So you grew asparagus and peas. Okay, so you've grown those before. And then I grow flowers and vegetables. Okay, what kind of vegetables, Gracie, do you grow? Flowers, not vegetables. Gotcha. Okay, now I'm with you. We have some guesses here with definitely B. B, let's see, potatoes spelled, okay, thank you. I'm the worst. Thank you. So I don't have to look it up. I don't know what kale is. Okay. And kale is one of these words where it is uncountable. So if you have one, it's a type of lettuce, right? So we say spinach, also a type of lettuce. Rucola or arugula is a type of lettuce. And it seems like quite often when we have lettuces, we don't add an S on it because it's considered one item. So super mistake. It's kind of, I think it's in the lettuce family. I don't know. But kale, my village is too freezing to grow anything. Yes, it's so cold there. Kale is dark green. It's very hip nowadays. It's kind of one of these superfoods where it's a type of lettuce that's pretty long. It's like that. Kale is like a mix between lettuce and cabbage. It is more tough than lettuce. Exactly. So, okay. So yeah. So maybe it is more of a cabbage. It's more of a cabbage. Okay. I'm not sure. It looks sort of salady, but it is really tough. And like if you chop up kale and you put it in a salad, you have to massage it a lot because otherwise it's like eating leather. In Patagonia and cold temperatures, it is difficult to get vegetables, to grow fruit trees. Okay, so yes, and I will find a picture of kale just to make sure that we're on the right page here. It's one of these superfoods that's been around, I would say, for like the last 10, 15 years. Everybody has to eat kale. Black cabbage, cavallo nero. Okay, so maybe it's in the cabbage family. I don't really know. I never thought of it. It just looked kind of lettucey to me, but it does make sense because it is so hard. So kale. All right, and I think, so this is kale. And in German, it's actually called Grünkohl, which is green cabbage. So I'm sure y'all are all right. Sorry. So this is, can you see this okay? That is kale. That's kale, superfood. All right. And the answer, going back to that, is, let's see, is B, like Alessio said, definitely B, asparagus, peas, and spinach. I was surprised about spinach for some reason. I would have thought that that's somehow later. Alessio, in my garden, I have tomatoes, strawberries, mint, zucchini, lettuce, and eggplant. Kale, okay, that was that. Let's see. In Florida, we don't have good soil, so it's difficult to grow anything with roots like carrots, beets, or radish. Renata, I think that some people, like when you have that, can you get like a big plastic tub or something nicer, maybe terracotta or some sort of container, and put good soil in it and grow it that way? Is that a possibility or not really? Okay. All right. So thanks for playing along with that. And asparagus is now, I don't know about where it is, what it's like where you are. But when I first moved to Germany, I was so surprised at how much Germans love asparagus in the spring. Like every German has to eat asparagus during the springtime. And I had never known that. So I learned that. Maybe it's like that in Italy. I have no idea. Maybe in Patagonia. Renata, do you know this from Poland or from in Florida? I never knew that this was like a very seasonal thing to eat right now. But yeah, Germans and asparagus, absolutely. If Carmen were here, she would be able to say, yes, Jen, you're right. Yes, you need to make raised gardens and fill them with store-bought soil. Okay. I also love asparagus. Okay, so let's see. Let's take a quick vote. Green asparagus or white asparagus? Yuki, you've started the trend. Thank you, darling. Germans love asparagus. Yes, they do. Especially white asparagus in Germany. Yes. And I find white asparagus is slightly bitter. You know, when you eat it, you're kind of like, do I like this? Do I not? Green asparagus, I absolutely love because it's nice and sweet. I love to eat green asparagus raw because it's nice and crunchy, or just slightly steamed. But white asparagus is kind of a pain in the neck. You have to peel it and you have to make sure that you get it peeled correctly. Otherwise, it's like trying to, I don't know, saw through some sort of skin somehow. I prefer the green one. Yes, me too. I love asparagus with eggs and risotto. That sounds amazing. In Italy, we eat polpo. Polpo surprises me. In Italy, they eat polpo. Is polpo in Spanish? I think is octopus. So is that what you mean? Bitter herbs are super healthy. Oh, bitter herbs are super healthy for your digestion. There's that red thing in Italy, that red lettuce thing. Yes, yes, yes. Endive. Is it endive? No, that's white. Radicchio. I'm probably misspelling it and mispronouncing it. And now I'm trying to spell it and it's trying to spell. Thank you very much, Renata. It's spelling radical. My spell check does not like that word. Octopus. Okay. Yes. So Yuki, you love both the white and the green. I'm not team white, I have to say. For me, it kind of gives me the creeps. I'm like, ugh. But yeah, and radicchio. And I like bitter as well, but somehow the white asparagus, I feel like it's such hard work. If it's not peeled correctly, then it's, I don't know, horse meat. It's horse meat pulpo. Ah, okay. So I know in Spanish pulpo is octopus, but I guess horse meat in Patagonia or in Argentina is yeah, is horse meat. Just cooked. Hold on. I can't. It's somehow share your referral link. Oh, sorry. I don't know what I'm doing. It's I no. No. I don't. Sorry, I don't mean to share this thing. It has this annoying thing here. Let me get delete comment. I don't want to share a referral. Okay, there we go. But just cooked octopus. Yes. Okay. So thank you for adding to this question. I think that makes it way more interesting to hear about people's opinions around the world about asparagus. Asparagus is one of the few sources of magnesium. Manganese. I don't know what manganese is. I know magnesium, manganese, a mineral. Okay, thank you, Renata. I have no idea what that is. What is that good for? If you tell me it removes wrinkles, I will go buy some asparagus right now, even the white one. So yeah, tell me that, please. Let's move on then, okay? And let's talk a little bit about nature and weather when it comes to spring, because that is a big topic, kind of in every season, but especially when we talk about spring. So what signs of spring do you notice first when you live where you live? So what are the first signs when you're like, oh, it's spring? What can you tell me? What are some first signs of spring that you notice in where you live? Let's see. Yes, the white one, especially for wrinkles. I would be all over that one. Okay. So what are the first signs of spring where you live? Maybe you talk about temperature, maybe you talk about smell, maybe you talk about a feeling or things you see. Get your senses flowing and let me know. I'd say flowers blooming, okay? And maybe you have like the first little sprout of a flower, a little bud that pops out. You can see in this picture here, we have little green leaves that are starting to shoot out of the vine or out of the stem. Daisies in your garden. Oh, that must be so sweet, Lorena. Orange trees get buds to pop leaves. One of my favorite scents ever is the blossom, the orange tree blossom. It is the most beautiful smell on the planet. I think. One of the most beautiful smells. So amazing. Longer days, I think you want to say, Gracie? Days longer. Longer. Yes, longer days. Absolutely. You can feel that it's staying brighter longer, and that's such a good thing, especially for those of us who live in areas where it gets dark in the wintertime very early. The longer days do wonders for I think my attitude. Hello, Juan Carlos. Hello, dear. So let's see. Let's take a look at number 2. And how does the weather in spring affect your mood? What can you tell me? The song, The Sound of Birds. Unfortunately, my son's allergies. Oh no. Yes, that's definitely, we'll talk about that. Longer days make me feel better. Me too. Love them. It's so good. So how does the weather in spring affect your mood? What does it make you feel like? What does it do to you? What can you tell me? I guess that's kind of a little bit what we've talked about already. I see the ground as the snow melts. You can start seeing the first signs of the ground underneath the white. That must be so interesting, Yuki. Where Yuki lives in Japan, they get a lot of snow, and it's snowy for long periods of time. I don't think I've ever been in a place where I've lived there, and it's a place where it's snowy for such a long period of time. It must be such an amazing feeling when spring comes around. Like, you must really appreciate it. Hello, Atoko. Okay, so plum flower and then buds from the cherry blossom. Yes. I don't know what a plum flower looks like. I'm going to take a look really quickly. I'm curious to see what a flower looks like. So let's do here, plum. And see what because I would think it kind of looks like a cherry blossom, but nope, it doesn't. Hold on. Let me see. All right. Oh, that is so sweet. Okay, sorry. Let me click on this one. And Itoko, is this what you have in mind? Let me make it bigger for us. So is this beautiful little flower here what you mean as a plum flower? That is so precious. It's so detailed. I love the layers. Oops, we're trying to be sold something. We can get a discount on olive oil. How gorgeous is that? Oh, I love that. I feel more energetic and alive with a hopeful sensation. I feel the same. I love spring. There's this sense of hope, this sense of we've made it. We've come through this long time together somehow. For me, it's a sense of community, a sense of renewal and optimism, definitely. And maybe it's nice to have these winters, because when I lived in LA, it was pretty much spring and summer, and you didn't have the 4 seasons. And it felt like it did something to me. Like, you didn't have this like stop, start, stop, start, stop, start several times a year, where it was like this total change. It just felt like everything just kind of flowed into each other. And you didn't have these little moments of reflection where you're like, the weather's changing, the flowers and plants and nature. You didn't experience that to such an extreme. So I find for myself, I really love living in a place where there are 4 seasons. It does. Spring sunshine makes us humming and whistling. I am sure, sweetie. I am so sure. Yes, pink, red, and white. So precious. I love those. Those are beautiful. So beautiful. I've never seen the flower up from a plum. All right, and now we have Hitoko, what you said earlier. So let's see. It's the season of rebirth, for sure. So we have a little question here. With April showers bring May flowers. What does this mean? Spring is always rainy. Good things come after difficulties. This is a nice little idiom. You should plant flowers in April, or it always rains in April. So which one of these do you think works best? With April showers bring May flowers. Which of these makes sense? What can you tell me? And then we have a nice little brainstorming activity, sticking with weather and rain and that kind of stuff, so we can learn some new vocabulary words. I think that, Hitoko, you said May showers bring April's flowers, or something of that. Or no. I don't know what she said, but something like that. A different way of saying that. I know April showers bring May flowers, but I'm sure there are many ways to say this. How do I get rid of this thing here? Anyway, so yes, what does April showers? So Gracie, you're saying good things come after difficulties. And that's exactly right, right? So I think this is a bit of a complicated idiom. Because if someone is experiencing something difficult and you're like, April showers bring May's flowers, then it could come across like, because nobody wants to go through a bad time. But it is said, usually not directed at a person. So good things come after difficulties. Exactly. I mistook shower for rain. Yeah, no worries. Same. So yeah, so good things come after difficulties. So maybe I would say this about to myself, like if I'm going through something difficult, I might say, yeah, but April showers bring May flowers, and then it's maybe a little bit lighter for myself. But I don't think I would use this with a friend. Maybe if they're going through a hard time, it would feel a little kind of unkind, I think, in a way. All right, so let's move on to our brainstorming activity. Still sticking with weather. We're slowly going to move out of this and move into something else. So let's take 2 minutes to, for here, we have this. Can you name different types of rain that happen in the spring? What can you tell me? Different types of rain that happen in the spring. Yuki, you've already said light showers, which is on my list. I have 9 different, or light rain, light showers. I have 9 different options here. Let's see if you can come up with more options in 2 minutes, or how many of these options you can come up with. Let's see here. 2 minutes start. Let's go. So different types of rain that happen in spring. Ooh, I like that one. Mist. Yes, it's not on my list. I don't know why, because I thought of it too. Maybe they're thinking mist is more something in the fall, but whatever. Mist is good. So really light when it's kind of cloudy outside. Sprinkle, love it, love it. Not on my list. Very cool. So like light, very light rain. Renata, you have mist too. You have sprinkle, and you have tornado. I don't have tornadoes. Yeah. Downpour, good one. Also not on my list. Crazy. Yes, a downpour, a very, very heavy rain. I have another one. This is a really good one. It starts with a D. What can you tell me? A word that starts with a D. Thunderstorm, ding, 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 on my list. Thank you, Michaela. Drizzle. So when this is what happens in Hamburg. Probably in 30 days, we have this 15 drizzle, where it's like this like light rain, where you don't really need an umbrella, but you kind of do. A deluge. I can't pronounce this word. This is one of the things I wanted to start with, words I can't pronounce. Yes, so when it rains very heavily, gorgeous word that I just used in one of our quizzes. So yeah. All right, let's see. Anything else that you can add? I'm looking for something that starts with an H. Okay, a word that kind of has to do with rain, but it's the process of something that happens to rain, and it starts with an H. What can you tell me? And it sounds a little bit like, well, okay, I think I've given you enough. Oh, okay, that's it. That's our 2 minutes are up. So the word I was looking for that starts with an H that deals with rain is hail. So that's when you have these hard balls that of ice that can land on humid. Humid is a good word too, totally. Humidity, when we talk about the moisture in the air. Let me get rid of my banner. Good call there. Nice try. But I was looking for hail, and I don't know why that's not popping up. Ah, there it goes. So hail, Hail. It sounds a little bit like hail, like you're going to hail. If you ever not pronounce it in a southern way, it sort of sounds like that. But hail are these ice balls that form that can be very dangerous. I've experienced a hailstorm before a long time ago, and when I lived in outside of Frankfurt, and it was really scary because you don't experience such heavy things falling on you. So it can be very, very dangerous. Sometimes they get really big. Ours were like this, but it was a lot of them, a ton of them, and then gone. It's a very strange weather phenomena. All right. So, whoops, sorry. Hail. Hail is typical in summer. Okay. All right. I don't know. It is hailing. Is it hailing now where you are? Dangerous also for cars. Totally. For humans, for cars, for all kinds of things, for sure. Here, oh my goodness. Oh, stay inside. Don't go out. Come and stay with us in our lesson. Don't go anywhere. Okay. So let's see. So Gracie is experiencing hail at the moment. Has anybody else ever experienced hail? A hailstorm? I got pounded, thank you, Renata, for sharing, with hail high in the mountains. Painful. Oh, no. Okay. And yes. Okay. If you want to continue sharing, no problem. I'll get rid of hail. Hide that. Doop. Okay. And we'll move on to another. This is like a little test now. In Italy, I mean, okay. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe it's also sort of more of a going into summer kind of thing than more spring. All right, so let's see. Let's move on to our next slide here. A little quiz about one of the words that we just learned, because I'm trying to make this more like, that we practice things and that we really use the words and learn them. So what types of rain? What is I think I've screwed this up. So what is another word for gentle rain in spring? So forget that what types of rain, that shouldn't be there. What is another word for gentle rain in spring? Is it A, drizzle, B, storm, C, hail, or D, blizzard? These words were all kind of fun, right? I don't know, like hail, drizzle, blizzard. They're sort of action sounding words, I find. All right, yes, exactly. So it's drizzle. Exactly. Do it afterwards. But if you don't mind, if you could like this little lesson here, then that would be wonderful, because it shows the algorithm that we're a community where people like to be engaged and care about it. Drop a comment if you have a moment. It helps the algorithm to think that this is a wonderful place for people. Yeah, just saying. Hail is terrible, especially for the car. My cookie just came out of the oven. Oh, Yuki, nice. What kind of cookies? I can smell them already. All right, let's do another little brainstorming session here, and let's move away from weather. We're completely done with the whole rain thing, and do a nice little brainstorming session. I'm coming, Yuki. Yeah, me too, Yuki. I'm booking the next flight. Okay, so next little brainstorming session that we have here. What are some common things people clean or organize during spring cleaning? Let's do a brainstorming session. Think about yourself. If you spring clean, if you do like a nice little cleaning every spring, what are some things that you clean? Because typically it's not the everyday stuff. It's not just vacuuming the floors or mopping. You get into the details. So what are some things that people typically clean when they do a spring cleaning? All right, so get into the details of what people clean. Come on, everyone. Oh, okay, I'll be right there. Maybe you can send us virtual cookies. If you don't wash the windows, you'll lose Polish citizenship. That's so hilarious. Okay, and like Renata, do you have a special trick or tip that you need to do to clean them properly? I know a lot of people like to use newspaper, but it can't be colored newspaper. It has to be black and white newspaper to clean the windows. So a lot of people swear by that. Is there something that you have to do specifically? So the windows, okay, so clean the windows. And in cleaning the windows, then you need to clean the window. And then where the window, so we have the window. And then on either side of the glass, you have this flat area, and that's the window sill. So those get cleaned. Maybe the curtains that are hanging down might also get cleaned. So total, these are absolute things that people clean in spring for a spring cleaning. So curtain is 1, 2 is curtains. It's a good time to declutter, absolutely. Clean the terrace and the balcony. Definitely get it ready for spring and summer. Okay. Anything else? Vinegar and rags. Newspaper works at the final touch to get the streaks off. Woo, this is a big process. I'm out. Okay, we've got vinegar. We've got, so vinegar and rags, and then newspaper to go over it. Season change. Yes. Okay, so we have windows covered. What else can you think of that we do for some sort of spring cleaning? So Alessio, you said to declutter. So maybe to go through closets, to go through clothing, get rid of old clothing, donate it, rake the leaves, the entrance mat. Ooh, yeah, got to shake that out. So maybe entrance mat, also rugs in the house. I want to put our blankets outside that we sleep with every night. You have a duvet cover, so like the sheet that goes over the cover. But I want to let them sit outside in the sun for at least 8 hours, flip them, and then duvet. That's the blanket in this case. So carpets, to beat the carpets, to clean the carpets, the rugs, that is. So maybe clean the carpets, beat the rugs. What else can we say? Junk drawers. Ooh, the infamous junk drawer. I just cleaned my junk drawer on the weekend, much to Peter's delight. I could see his little heart going, oh, finally. Yeah, the junk drawer that needs done. And also like maybe going through our kitchen and taking a look in the pantry, right? So where we keep our groceries and our dried goods is called the pantry. And so you can go in, look for the expiration dates, throw out old food, maybe compost them. Sofa covers is a good one. Kitchen fan, I should do more often. What else can we do in the kitchen? Let me see what I have on my list here. So deep clean the fridge, good one. Ovens and cabinets, the pantry. And let's see, garden, preparing, yes. Okay, garage or attic, ooh yeah. I have this reoccurring dream that I'm in this really big house and I go up these stairs and there's this really bizarre attic and it's full of stuff and I need to go through it and I don't know, it's so weird. Anyway, maybe because I just don't throw anything away. It's really actually reality. I just don't have an attic. So it's really the garage. So maybe it's that. I have no idea. Okay, so let's move on. Thanks for adding all of your spring cleaning ideas and tips. If you want to add anything extra, feel free to do so. Otherwise, we'll move on to Switzerland. I have a little trivia question for us in Switzerland. So, nope, not that. Nope. Hold on. Why am I so off? Let's see. Number 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Aha. So, well, we can do this one too. Which word means to clean and organize thoroughly in spring? I think we've had it. Change the AC filters and vents like their microwave, for sure. Good one. That was the last, actually, that was the last one on my list. But because in Europe, nobody really has filters and vents, I didn't add that one. That's a very American thing. But maybe other countries have that, but I don't know it in Europe. because we don't have AC and we don't have filters and air that blows through that way. So C, decluttering. Okay. Yes, as well. Any other guesses? And I'll get rid of my banner here. Excuse me. Okay. Not sure what happened. I skipped that one. That's why. Okay. All right. So technically, like all of these can kind of mean this, but it's really spring cleaning, because spring cleaning, we do. Now we're moving to Switzerland. Now we will have a nice little interesting trivia question. Okay. In Switzerland's Sechslauten, a festival, what is set on fire to signify the end of winter? A snowman, a stack of expired ski passes, so like old ski passes, or C, old winter coats. What do they set on fire? Also shoes, that's true. Yes, go through shoes and everything. So what can you tell me? In Switzerland's Sechslauten festival, what is set on fire to signify the end of winter? A snowman, a stack of expired ski passes, or old winter coats? Which one makes the most sense? And yes, let me see right quickly. I think I don't have, I might have to go out for one. Oh, actually, I can take a look here and find it, because I want to show you a picture. So we have ski passes. Any other guesses here? Let's see. Any other? A question mark. Okay. Okay. Because I want to show you a picture. Any other guesses that you can think of that you'd like to share? Okay, I've misspelled it. It's very hard to spell this word. So another A. Okay, so the correct answer is actually A. I have a picture on my thing here. 1 second, I'm going to hop out really quickly because I have a good photo. So let me just hop out real quick. I hope you can still hear me. And grab that photo. Select. Here we go. Oh, and send it over to here. iPad. Okay. So sorry about that. Okay, so those of you who guessed A, you are correct. This looks better, smaller. But yeah, so information I'll share with you, share a picture with you in just a second. The snowman is called Bug. It's burnt to predict how the summer weather will be. The faster the fire reaches the head of the snowman, the better the conditions are expected to be. So I guess if it burns faster, summer is better. If it explodes in the first 6 to 10 minutes, summer will be dry and sunny. And if an explosion after 10 to 15 minutes of burning is supposed to indicate a rainy summer. And this poor snowman, not made of snow. I thought it was made of snow, but I Googled it, checked it out, and it's not. But this is kind of what it looks like. So you have the snowman, and I guess he exploded at some point. And this, let me see if I can find. So it's on this kind of like a hill made of sticks, like a mound of sticks. And then you have the snowman on top, and then they set it on fire. And I guess at some point it catches on fire or it explodes, and then the timing of it shows you whether or not the summer is going to be beautiful or it's going to be kind of dry, rainy, and not so wonderful. All right, Anyway, I thought that was kind of fun. Do you have any traditions like that? We talked about it, I think, a little bit yesterday with Groundhog Day. Do you have anything like that that you would like to share from your country, if you've not already, that you use to predict what the summer's going to be like, or spring, or anything like that? Poor snowman, I know. Poor snowman. All right. So let's see. All right, so here we go. We're going to do another little brainstorming, and we cannot talk about summer without, or spring that is, without talking about allergies. So can you think of some words related to allergies? Anything that you can think of related to allergies. Again, we have 2 minutes. So anything related to allergies, the first word that comes to mind, I have a list of, let's see, a lot of words. I have a list of about probably 15 words related to allergies. So let's see what we can come up with. Do you have bad allergies? I usually have very bad allergies. Sneezing, absolutely on my list. In fact, I'm going to screenshot this. Oops, wrong place. And then pollution, or do you mean pollen maybe? Itchy nose, sneezing, wheezing, good word. When you're like, that's wheezing. In fact, I'm going to word sneezing. Itchy, when things are like, oh, I gotta itch this, I gotta scratch it. So itchy eyes, I have that. That's one of the things I get. My eyes will itch so horribly, or the back of my throat totally will itch. So let me see. Let me try to screenshot this again. All right. So anything that you can think of, let me. Had itchy eyes. What else do we have? We had runny nose. Thank you, Renata. Let's see. Wheezing was not on there, so cool for you. And stuffy nose was also not on there. Very cool. Hay fever, exactly. And hay fever, just so you know, who cares? But hay is not like hay like this. It's H-A-Y, like the straw. H-A-Y. Swollen eyes, very good one. I don't have it on my list. Awesome. Histamine, absolutely. And what else? Nasal spray. Not on my list, but should be. Skin troubles, definitely. Did I miss anyone? Any of them? Nope. Okay. Nasal spray, yeah. Benadryl, exactly. You live on Benadryl. I have one medicine that I found that I absolutely love. And then somehow people started to abuse it. So they stopped selling it in Europe. And I was just like, I'm not abusing this. This is what keeps me alive. So please sell this to me. Antihistamine, exactly. Thank you, Lorena. Antihistamine, antihistamine. Also, we can say asthma as a word. Dust mites, these are so disgusting. So dust mites are those little bugs that live in dust. So like a little insect, dust mites. Lacrimation. I don't know what lacrimation is. I'm not sure what that is. Lacrimation. Dust mites. Masks to protect. Yes, the eyes and glasses, definitely. Triloccal bee pollen. It helps allergies. Thank you, darling. Okay. Anybody else have anything else? Hives. This is also something that you can get. You said skin troubles, right? So hives is something that people get where it's little bumps on your arms, and it's not like pimples. It's not like, that on your face. Hives. Oops, sorry. Let me try to get that to go. Yes. So hives are these bumps that you get, and it can be itchy, it can be painful. But when you have skin trouble because of allergies of some sort, or an allergy. Pollen was a word that we have a lot, pollen, because that is what gives us our allergies, or that's what makes that happen. My tears are tearing these days because of the allergy. Yes. Like a heat rash as well. Yes. Other words that and rash is also a good word. Rash is when you have little bumps all over the place, and hives might be like the specific form, they're bigger. Anyway, but I think we're good. Yes, I think those are great words. Thank you guys for a great little brainstorming session. Super. And we're going to head on and have a fun little exercise now for us, a set of true and false questions. Lacrimation is probably Italianism. Thank you, dear. Tearing. Okay, tearing. Okay. Thank you. I love learning Italian with y'all as well. All right. So getting rid of hives. Goodbye, hives. Oh, no, we don't want brainstorming anymore. Hold on, let me get rid of that. Oop. Okay. And I have a set of true or false questions. We'll go through them one at a time. And so true or false, all right? Number one, in spring, Arctic foxes shed their white fur to brown in spring, sorry. So in spring. So I should not use that. I should have proofed this one as well. In spring, Arctic foxes shed their white fur to brown to blend in. So get rid of in spring there. If we could edit this right now, in spring in the middle, goodbye. Or just simply Arctic foxes shed their white fur to brown in spring to blend in. Is this true or false? True or false? Okay, what can you tell me? So our little Arctic foxes, they are so precious. Do they do this or not? Okay, hey Karina, darling. So true. Any other guesses? They go from white to brown. True. Okay, 3 truths is good enough for me. So, and that's absolutely true. They get a little makeover in spring and they go from white to brown so they can blend in with their surroundings. Number 2, tornadoes are less likely to occur. So occur is another word for happen. So tornadoes are less likely to occur in the spring. True or false? What can you tell me? Tornadoes, more likely, less likely? What do you think? And if you happen to be here and you don't already follow this account, you can find my account here. Go ahead and give it a follow and show up next week and become part of our community. It'd be wonderful. Thank you, Alicia, for your question. Blend in. So when you, like a chameleon, if you take that animal, a chameleon, he changes his color wherever he goes so that the predators don't see him. He blends in. Maybe a killer would try to blend in. Like if somebody's committed a crime, he will run into the streets and try to act like everybody else so he cannot be found. He will try to blend in. Yes. For ladies, we need to blend in our makeup so we don't look like Donald Trump. Yeah, sorry. Camouflage, a good word. Super synonym. Blend in, camouflage, absolutely. So blend in is our nice little phrasal verb and camouflage is a nice noun. Thank you, Renata. So false, true, and false. All right. So for those of you who said false, you are correct. Tornadoes are more likely to happen in the spring than in any other season. This is because spring brings warm air and stormy weather, which creates the perfect conditions for tornadoes to form. Okay, so moving on to number 3. If it rains a lot in spring, maple tree sap will be abundant. Abundance, a great word for having a lot. You have an abundance of money, an abundance of time. You have a lot of money, a lot of time. So maple tree sap will be abundant when it's harvested in summer. So if it rains a lot in spring, maple tree sap will be abundant when it's harvested in summer. I didn't know that. Yeah. I didn't know any of this until I looked it up. So yeah, we really learned something new together. Okay, so Yuki's saying true. All right. Any other guesses with our maple syrup here? If it rains a lot, we're gonna in spring a lot of maple syrup. True, true, true. Everybody is saying true, 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 true. All right. Okay. So I would say true too. I would have said true too. Michaela's saying false. Let's listen to Michaela. All right, true. It has to be weather temperature. It has to be weather temperature for maple syrup. Okay, so here it is. False, actually. In early spring, maple trees produce sap that farmers collect to make sweet maple syrup. So they don't harvest it in the summer, they harvest it in the spring. And here is why. The process called sugaring only happens when the days are warm but the nights are still cold. So you need this nice little springtime weather temperature, Renata, like what you were saying, where it's warm during the day and cool at night, for them to be able to process it. So it's been a springtime tradition for thousands of years. So it's not something that's done in the summer, done in the spring when you have that nice combination of warm days and cool nights. Last but not least, number 4, some frogs freeze during winter and they thaw in the spring. Is that true or false? What can you tell me? What about our little Kermits? Do they sleep during the winter? Do they hibernate? A nice word we learned yesterday. Hibernate. False. Okay. Lorena's saying true. All right. We have false. We have true. What do you think? Does Kermit sleep during the winter? True from Karina. What can you tell me? So we have false, true, true. Some frogs can freeze during winter and thaw is when they melt. When you have something, it's another word for melting. You have to, it thaws, it melts. Oops. So, okay, true. So the answer is actually true. Frogs are amazing creatures. Sorry, my connection. They survive by making special chemicals that work like certain sort of little antifreeze thing in them. It's like a chemical like antifreeze where they can just defrost in the spring. That's so amazing. Fine. Nature is so incredible. Okay, next little question that I've got for you, moving on along, is what's a great spring destination that you would recommend? Where would you travel to right now if you could go anywhere at this time of year, in particular this time of year, springtime? So I would definitely like to see the cherry trees in Japan for sure, but I'm sure there are other answers. We live on an amazing planet where springtime maybe is incredible. Yeah, so let me know what you have to say. Amazing places to go to during the spring or in spring. And then we have one more question and we are done for the day. What's a great place that you would recommend? I also recommend coming to Germany later in spring and then go hiking. It's so beautiful here, especially near Munich in Bavaria. Cherry blossoms in Krakow, Poland. Ah, Krakow's so on my list. I've heard so many amazing things about Krakow. Renata, is that where you're originally from? I didn't know that they had cherry blossoms there, though, that they were famous for that. Okay, so cherry blossoms in Japan, cherry blossoms in Krakow. I'm going to say that to go to Bavaria, to go hiking, maybe Holland to see the tulips. Okay, all right, sounds good. Definitely, it must be so beautiful. Tulip fields in the Netherlands. Michaela, you're on the same track with Alessio here. So maybe you two could go together. Yeah, and so I don't know why that's okay. I don't know. I don't know why that. Something's weird here today. Everything is kind of, they've changed something on this account. I don't know. All right. So yes, cherry blossoms are underrated there. Yeah, okay, so not many people know about it. They need to do a little bit more marketing on Instagram. Or maybe not. Maybe not, and then the locals can enjoy it without having so many people there. So don't go to Krakow to see the cherry blossoms, okay? Azora Islands. Am I saying that correctly, Lorena? Azor or Azora Islands. And what is so beautiful there this time of year, which speaking of island, I would also say Ibiza is a beautiful, this is a wonderful time of year to be there. Everything is green. It's not so full of tourists for one thing. And you can go hiking because in the summertime, like in the Mediterranean area, it gets too hot. You don't want to do anything during the day. But now is the time of year to go there, go hiking, explore stuff. So it's nice. No, yeah, we're not telling anybody about Krakow and the cherry trees. Our lips are sealed. Okay. All right. Last question for the day. A nice little trivia question. We are heading to the Netherlands. Alessio, just as you sort of mentioned, we should go. And which special event takes place every spring in the Netherlands? Is it A, cheese tasting festival, B, a bicycle festival, or C, a flower parade? What can you tell me? South of Spain, like, oh, I'm going to mess this up. Granada, I know. Seviglia. The end of spring to summer is the best season for Rano Hokkaido in Japan to see the lavender. Ah, that must be gorgeous. So gorgeous. So Alessio's guessing B question mark bicycle festival, A cheese tasting festival, the king's birthday. Yeah, okay. That was one of the answers that should have been on here, but I took it off and put something different. And I'm going to try to find a video. Let's try to get one or two more answers because I would love to show you this. You've got to see this. So see a flower parade. Okay. So let's see. Hold on one second. Let me copy this word because it is videos on YouTube when I'm on YouTube, but I'm just doing it until I go into jail. So we will see. Paste. All right. Let me do 2024 because it's not happened yet. Okay, good. We have lots of choices here. Okay, so for those of you, actually, Yuki, you're the only one who guessed it. It's a flower parade. And this is, Leslie, this is why I said to you, oh, I can't tell you this because this has to do with our trivia question for today. So in South Holland, there's an event called Bloemencorso Bollenstreek, which means, I guess, flower parade. It happens every April. It goes for 12 hours. One parade can last for 12 hours, and it travels from Noordwijk to Haarlem, covering 24 miles. The floats. So when you have a parade, imagine a parade is you have cars. And then and they're decorated. You have big trucks and they're decorated and people are on them. Maybe they throw candy. So those are the floats. That truck that has been turned into a decorative sort of item is now called a float. And they go in a parade. So this is a 12-kilometer parade or 24-mile, I guess it's about 12 kilometers, parade that goes and everything is decorated with flowers. Okay, it's made entirely of flower bulbs like tulips, hyacinths, and daffodils. It's the only parade where it's constructed of only flowers. Hundreds of thousands of people, of course, gather to check it out. So creative, so incredible. I will share with you a video right now so you can see this. If you would like to check it out, you a quick little short here on YouTube to give you an idea. This is from last year, but they do. I hope you can see that. So everything is flowers. That must be so incredible. I don't want to place so much because I don't want to go into YouTube jail. But you have to check it out. This is just one video of thousands that are on YouTube, and everything is made of flowers, and that's what they do. So not a cheese tasting festival, not a bicycle festival, a parade of flowers. It's so amazing, right, Alessia? That's why I was like, oh, I hope you're going in April with your daughter, because that'd be such an amazing thing to see and smell. But yeah, anyway, do you have any sort of parades or things like that in your area where you live for spring? We don't. Nothing. Nada. But oh well. So folks, slowly but surely, we will say goodbye today. And yeah, thank you so much for spending an hour with me. I appreciate it. If you don't already follow my account, but you've made it this far into a lesson, I think this might be your jam. This is my account. English with Jen 123. Please, please, please like this video if you don't mind once it's uploaded. And if you want to write a comment, that would be awesome too, just because it just shares. I don't know. You know these algorithm junk. I don't know. No, so let's see. Thank you very much, Renata, for hanging out with us today. Nothing in my hometown. Yes. It is amazing, very amazing. I hope one day to see that, maybe next year, not this year, but yeah. Thank you, everyone. Thank you for your time. I appreciate it. Trust me, I know you have a million things you could watch and do. And if you spend this hour with me, I know to appreciate it, and I do. So take care. See you soon. And yeah, be well.